You do not check your phone because you are weak. You check it because it works. The red notifications, the subtle vibration, the endless scroll. You unlock it without deciding to. You scroll without meaning to. You close it and open it again minutes later. So you assume it is a lack of discipline, that you just need more control. But what if your behavior is not random? What if it is the predictable outcome of something engineered to capture your attention and reshape it? Keep your phone on the table, face down. Do not touch it. Just leave it there while you listen. Nothing is happening on that screen. No messages, no sound, no vibration. And still, part of your mind stays aimed at it. Not because you are weak, because your brain treats that object as an active possibility, a doorway, a risk, a reward, a social signal, a map, a clock, a memory, a problem that could appear at any second. That is the first uncomfortable truth. Your phone does not need to light up to pull attention. The simple fact that it is within reach changes how your attention gets allocated. Research has found that people perform worse on tasks that require concentration when their smartphone is nearby, even when it is silent. The phone becomes a background process, a quiet drain. Your mind spends resources on restraint, on monitoring, on staying ready. So when you say, "I can focus just fine," you are describing what it feels like from inside the effort. But the cost shows up in your performance, in how long it takes to think, in how easily you hold a full idea in your head. Now bring that phone back into real life. It is not sitting face down while you do one task. It is with you while you do everything. Deep recognition. You wake up and reach for it before your brain fully turns on. Your thumb already knows the route. You are not choosing an app. You are checking the air. Like testing weather. You open your phone for one purpose. Something small. A reply. A calendar. A quick look. 3 minutes later, you are somewhere else. Not because you got distracted, because the phone is built to turn a single intention into a chain of intentions. Each one feels reasonable. Each one feels like it will take 5 seconds. You stand in a kitchen waiting for water to boil. The silence hits. The gap appears. Your hand moves. You are in a line at a store. A moment with nothing to do. Your hand moves. You are watching a video. A tiny lull arrives. Your hand moves. You are mid-sentence in an email. You hesitate on one word. Your hand moves. This is the pattern most people miss. The phone does not only steal time, it removes the small moments that used to belong to your mind. Those moments were not empty. They were where your brain sorted experiences without you noticing. They were where you rehearsed what you were about to say, where emotions cooled down, where you connected two ideas that did not seem related. Now those moments are filled with quick input. Headlines, clips, messages, updates, and your mind learns a new rule. Any hint of boredom, uncertainty, or effort gets solved by stimulation. Not a big stimulation, a small one, a hit, a refresh. That is why you can feel restless in normal life. Not anxious exactly, just unable to stay with the plain texture of a moment. First, cognitive reframe. Most people think this is a self-control problem. It is not. What is happening is learning. Your brain is a prediction machine. It updates itself based on what works. If a behavior reliably changes your internal state, your brain labels it as valuable. The phone changes your internal state fast. It can reduce uncertainty, deliver social signals, provide novelty, or give you a sense of progress in seconds. So the brain builds a shortcut. When there is friction, check the phone. That shortcut becomes automatic because it saves energy. It prevents discomfort quickly. And it creates an open loop that never closes. Your brain starts treating being reachable as a task that is never finished. You are not failing to relax. Your brain has been trained to stay on call. Mechanism. Layer 1. Start with attention. Attention feels like a spotlight, but it behaves more like a budget. You spend it. You cannot spend it twice. Every notification, even the ones you do not open, creates a decision point. Not always conscious. Sometimes it is just a shift. Was that for me? Should I check? Can it wait? That decision point has a cost. And even when you do switch tasks, your mind does not fully detach from what you were doing before. Psychologists call this attention residue. Part of your attention stays stuck on the previous task, especially if it feels unfinished. Phones create unfinished tasks constantly. A message you saw but did not answer. A headline you did not read. A video you did not finish. A group chat you did not catch up on. A comment you did not check. Each one leaves a thin thread in your mind. So you go back to your work. But your work is now competing with a cloud of unresolved micro demands. That is why you can sit down to focus and still feel mentally noisy. You did not lose discipline. You accumulated residue. And that residue becomes the reason you reach for the phone again, because the phone is where the residue came from, and also where it feels like it can be resolved. But resolving it only creates more. Mid-video pattern, interrupt. Notice what happens when your phone is quiet. The urge does not disappear. It becomes more precise. This is not you craving entertainment. This is your brain trying to restore a sense of control. And there is a deeper layer under the urge. The phone has trained your mind to measure safety in updates. So, the moment you put it down, the mind starts scanning for what you might be missing, and that scanning becomes the new distraction. Mechanism layer 2. Now go deeper than attention. Go to reward. Your phone runs on variable reward. Not every check pays off. Sometimes there is nothing. Sometimes there is something important. Sometimes there is something emotionally charged. Sometimes there is something novel. That unpredictability is not a side effect. It is the engine. When rewards are uncertain, the brain learns to check more often. Because the next check could be the one that matters. And the brain does not just chase pleasure. It chases relief. A message resolves social uncertainty. A new post resolves curiosity. A feed scroll resolves boredom. A like resolves status ambiguity. A notification resolves, did I miss something? Over time, your baseline changes. Without the phone, the world feels slower. Not because life got worse, because your brain's expectation of stimulation got faster. This is why common fixes fail. People try to use the phone less, but keep the same reward structure. They keep the same habit loops. They keep the same environment. They keep the same on-call identity. So their brain interprets, I should stop, as deprivation, not as a normal state. And deprivation makes the reward system louder. There is also another factor people miss. The phone is not one habit. It is a bundle of habits stacked on top of each other. Communication, news, entertainment, work, navigation, memory storage, social belonging. When you say, I am addicted to my phone, you are describing a device that has merged with several basic needs. That is why separation from the phone can create real distress in some people, strong enough that researchers have given it a name: nomophobia, the fear or anxiety of being without a mobile phone. Studies suggest significant levels of self-reported nomophobia are widespread, especially among younger groups. This is not about liking screens. It is about the brain treating the phone as an attachment object, a portable source of connection and certainty. Perspective expansion. Now, zoom out. Your phone does not exist in a neutral environment. It sits inside a system designed to compete for your attention. Most apps are not paid for with money. They are paid for with time. That creates a clear design goal. Maximize checks, maximize session length, maximize return visits. So the phone becomes a slot machine you carry in your pocket, except the rewards are social and informational, which makes them feel meaningful. and modern life adds pressure. Work is more fragmented. Communication is faster. Expectations are looser and also harsher. People assume you saw the message. People assume you can respond. So, even if you want to be calm, the environment treats calm as delay. This is how a personal device turns into a social contract. Not spoken, but enforced. And, once it is enforced, your brain adapts. It learns to keep a portion of attention reserved for the possibility of interruption. That reserved attention becomes your new normal. Final reframe. Here is the shift that changes how you see it. The phone is not just rewiring what you pay attention to. It is rewiring what your brain counts as a complete moment. A moment used to be complete without input. Now a moment feels incomplete unless it contains an update. That is why you check the phone during pauses. It is why silence feels slightly unfinished. It is why you can have free time and still feel behind. Because behind is no longer tied to tasks. It is tied to information. And information never ends, so you live inside a moving stream, trying to stay current and calling that state normal. Controlled closing. If your phone is rewiring your brain, it is doing it in a simple way. It trains your nervous system to treat interruption as ordinary and stillness as suspicious. It teaches you to scan, refresh, and confirm. The result is not constant chaos. It is something quieter. A mind that feels busy even when life is not demanding much. A focus that starts then thins. A day that moves fast yet does not feel fully lived. The phone does not just take your attention. It offers a new definition of what attention is for. Not staying with what is here, but staying ready for what might appear next.